All right. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome to King Talk. I am your host, as always, King Lex, and I got a special guest with me today. He goes by the name of David Alonso. He's my cousin, in case you guys didn't know. And we actually been talking about doing this for a while. We've been talking about getting on a podcast because the last time he was actually my first audio guest. We were just talking about that. And now that I'm doing video, he's gonna be my first video guest. So this is actually like this was an anticipated episode. We had a lot of experiences since our last time that we did the podcast. So I felt like for us to get on here and kind of share our own experiences that are kind of similar, it'll be very eye-opening for everybody, and maybe we could all learn a little something from it. So without any further ado, I want to welcome David to the podcast. What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, man? Good to be back.
Yes, sir. How you feeling, man? How was your Sunday?
It was good, bro. Went to church.
Okay.
Went to church. I got my daughter in Sunday school, so I think that's important to get your young ones, educated,
Early.
In that field and stuff like that, because you can only do so much. You can only do so much when you work full time, and you got other obligations that you got to do. So other life obligations. So, having her go to Sunday school, definitely helps out a lot. Take that burden off your shoulders.
I definitely agree. I feel like just you and we both went to Sunday school at a young age. And I feel like the lessons that I learned in Sunday school really followed me for like the rest of my life. Like to this day, I feel like that foundation of going to church every Sunday, the experience of like being in the sanctuary and seeing the pastor preach, and then the routine of like going to Sunday school and then fellowshipping with kids our age, and then building relationships with the Sunday school teachers, like that literally like followed us or followed me for the rest of my life. Like even now when I face like trials and tribulations, it's just like that base foundation is super important. I feel like people that don't have that base, like they kind of tend to get lost and confused, and they just kind of stray everywhere, and it's like you got to be anchored in the word. So I completely respect that. I haven't been to church in a while, with the whole dialysis thing. I kind of hid for like 3 years. So I didn't, and plus I moved to Connecticut, so I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any churches in Connecticut. So, but now that I'm starting to feel better and, I'm starting to come around, like I've been looking up churches. So I'm definitely going to get back into church soon. But Gab, actually, she's been taking the boys to church and she's been trying to get them into Sunday school. And my oldest, he's really into like the Bible, man. He's always asking questions about God. He'd be asking the craziest questions sometimes, like, I don't even know. He's like, God, why did God make refrigerators cold? That was like the latest thing he asked me. I was like, what? I'm like,
Yeah.
how did it make refrigerators? I was like, man made refrigerators, but and I had to tell him why you got to keep food cold and everything. But he just asked so many questions, and sometimes it's like he really challenges my knowledge on things, like the most simple things. And I'm like, damn, I gotta explain this scientifically to him. Yeah. And then it's like you want to break it down for like their level, like for their IQ. So it's interesting. But yeah, man, Sundays, bro. I've been on my self-care Sunday flow lately. And yeah, man, that's been like my little thing. But I don't want to talk too much about me, man. I actually want to get into what recently happened with you, man. I don't think too many people know. And you kind of faced a lot of adversity recently. And I kind of want to give you the platform to share like what your experience is like, how did it start? And yeah, man, just fill us in on the story, bro.
So you're talking about the whole COVID situation, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It definitely came from my daughter. She had it first, so we think that she contracted it from someone in school. Because she started coughing. She had a fever. And you know, the first thing on my mind was, you know, COVID, right? So I had taken her to the first day she like had a fever. First or second, excuse me, second day she had a fever. I took her to a place to get tested. And being that, you know, I was around her, I got tested too to go see. And so whatever, you know, we went ahead, we got tested, and the test came back negative for me and her. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, it's probably just a simple cold, fever, whatever. Um, so yeah, so a couple of days go by, maybe like a week goes by. She only had the fever for about like maybe like 2 or 3 days max with a slight cough. So so she was fine, but then maybe about a week later, or a couple of days later, I remember waking up to go to work. It was like a Monday or a Tuesday.
Mm.
So I woke up and I remember telling my fiance, I was like, yo, I really don't feel like going to work today. I was like, I just feel like crap. And um, I ended up telling her, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fight through it. You know, I never get sick either, by the way. Like, I rarely ever get sick. Maybe I'll get like a cold once a year, but that's about it.
Mm.
So I remember forcing myself to get up, get ready. And I actually would have stayed home, but I had a meeting at work, like it was like a conference call. So like I had to like be on the phone and I had to go through like a course, and to reschedule that is a pain in the butt.
Mm.
So I was like, you know what, let me just go to work, you know? So I went to work. Um, I probably lasted in the meeting for about a solid hour and a half. And
Damn.
then like they wanted to start doing like role playing. And I was like, nah, this ain't going down. Like, I don't have like, first of all, I couldn't focus. Like they were
Yeah.
going, talking, and I couldn't focus at all. And then he said he was gonna start doing role playing. And I had no idea what we were role playing about. So I
I'm
was like, all
sorry.
right.
Listen, when I hear role playing, like my mind, my mind be going to weird places. Like, what exactly would they like talk about role playing for, man?
uh you're a funny guy. You're
Listen, bro, you keep
all
saying role
right.
playing. Like,
So
what kind of role play you doing at work, bro?
so I work for a bank, right?
Yeah.
And you know, there's constantly like new products coming out, and new policy changes and stuff like that. So once in a while, the company will have meetings to inform us, and then they'll educate us on how to like pass that information on to the customer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what the role playing is. You know, I'll pretend to be the customer, another person will be the banker, and we'll do like a scenario. They give us like a
Man.
script,
So not
and then,
only are you a banker, but you're an actor too.
but I'm a what?
You're an actor as well.
Yeah, I mean, apparently. So whatever, we do that, and we take turns on being the banker and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that's what happened that day. And I was just like, nah, I had no focus, I had no energy to do any of that. So I was like, you know what? I just gotta go home. So I emailed him, I was like, listen, I can't make it. I'm not feeling the best. So I'm gonna have to make up this class or this course. He's like, all right, no problem. So I ended up going home around 11:30 that day, and I came home, bro, and I went straight to bed. Like
Damn.
I went straight. I put on like my basketball shorts and just went straight to bed. And I actually slept, bro. I actually slept in and out of sleep like the whole day until the next day. And like the next day I woke up, my whole body was like aching and sore. Um, and my girlfriend my fiance, she ended up getting the same symptoms as well.
Oh.
So then, like the third day, I finally had the strength to like get out of bed, and I forced myself to go to get tested, and then that's when it came back positive. Me and my girlfriend, it came back positive.
So
for
she had it.
COVID.
I didn't know she got it as well. She got it
Yeah,
too.
got it. Long story short, everyone in the house ended up getting it, and
Man,
but I got it the worst. I got it the worst.
why
Everyone
do you
else,
think? Like, why do you think is that? Why do you think you had it the worst out of everybody?
I don't know, man. I think the only thing that separates me from everyone in the house is that one, I used to smoke
Mm,
cigarettes. I haven't smoked cigarettes in probably about 3 years, 3 or
wow.
4 years. But I picked up vaping,
Mm.
you
Yeah,
know.
because I guess because of the lungs, when the lungs are compromised, the pneumonia, right? It attacks the lungs.
Yeah, something like that. So I don't know, man. But that's the only difference that I could think of. Overall, I'm fairly healthy. Like I go to the doctors all the time.
Hmm.
Blood pressure, everything is good. I just had to drop a couple, but
Yeah, yeah.
but
So
even when I was smoking, I was never like a pack a day. Like a pack
yeah.
would last me like maybe half a week or a full week. I was more of a social smoker
Mhm.
than I was an active like everyday smoker.
Yeah, yeah. You weren't like the type that will like at work will go outside and smoke a cigarette every five
Nah, not
minutes.
rarely. I mean, if I did, it's because I was bored and
Yeah,
I would only have one a day where people are going out there like almost every other hour.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, me personally, bro, I was a heavy smoker myself, but I wasn't smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean? I was
I was like, you smoking cigarettes?
nah, I wasn't smoking cigarettes. I'll say that. But I would literally smoke 3 times a day, man, after every meal. And it's like, actually, I'm like maybe since I had my transplant, I kind of stopped smoking like a week before that. So now it's been, I would say maybe almost like 50 days, about 50 days clean. So
Yeah, wow.
yeah, man, it feels good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I still get the urges, man. Like, especially when I'm bored. Like, boredom kills, bro. Like when yeah, I gotta
Yeah,
keep myself busy because like if I get bored, bro, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Right now, a smoke will be good. Even like a drink sometimes. Like I haven't eaten drinking, I haven't done in a long time. But like even when I was on dialysis, I would like drink on like rare occasions. Like if we would go out to a restaurant, you know what I mean? And then maybe I'll have like a cranberry vodka and I'll try to keep it like as clean as possible. Like I can't do like the brown liquors anymore or any of that stuff, man. Like my body just can't handle it. But
yeah. I feel the same way. Like I don't really drink either, even though like I'm sipping on some wine right now. I rarely ever drink. Like
yeah.
if I do, it's just like I don't know. I don't do the hard stuff anymore.
Hmm.
Like my fiance kind of got me on this wine kick right now, and I think it's like
My fiance loves wine too, bro. But she drinks
yeah,
like red wine. You drink red wine at all? Oh, you on red wine right now? There you go. I hear a
it's,
glass of wine a day is actually healthy for you.
they say yeah, but I don't know, man. It's just like a little. It just sets a good vibe, I guess. I don't know. It's just it mellows you out a little bit.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think it's like a preferred taste too, because I can never get into the taste of it. But I feel like with that, it's like something that I would have to just indulge in it, and then I feel like I would like get used to it, and then like that's how I am with coffee. Now I'm like an avid coffee drinker, bro. But I used to hate coffee. Same
Same.
thing with Coca-Cola. When I was a kid, like I used to hate like I used to hate carbonated drinks. And then I just kept drinking them because every time when I was a kid and I'll go to birthday parties, everyone, AJ in the comments,
I don't
eh,
even want to know. I don't even
he's
want to know
throwing
what's
up,
he's
he's throwing
saying.
up the girl emoji, trying to call us like you already
Man,
know what he on right now. But yo, I used to go to kids parties and like I would force myself to drink soda to fit in with everybody because everyone was drinking soda, and then just because of that, I got used to it, and then I liked it, and then it was
really,
like, yeah, I like
yo,
soda
to
now.
this day, I don't like soda. Like
Oh, you
I
don't?
never go to the store and buy soda. Like rare occasions, like maybe like if it's available to me, like I'll have it. You know what I mean? Like if I go somewhere and I get like Subway or something, and I
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
drink, I'll go to the fountain, and I'm like, nah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, nah, I was never a fan of soda.
Yeah,
Like,
me neither. Like I'll do like you know what kind of carbonated I drink now because of the hospitals. All my time in the hospital was ginger ale, bro. Because they always give you ginger ale in the hospital. So I just
mhm.
got used to that. So now like if I go to the supermarket and I want something besides water, because I'm a heavy water drinker now. All I drink is water. But if I want something different than water, I'll get ginger ale, get a bunch of like the little cans and I'll keep them refrigerated in the fridge. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But yeah, I don't want to get off subject though. So we were talking about the hospital. So you go to so when did you decide to admit yourself into the hospital? Like did you feel like you waited till like you got really sick?
So I went to the hospital 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
People mostly only know about the second time that I went to the hospital. But
Mm-hmm.
so what happened was, I started me and my fiance, we started progressively getting worse. So like one of the worst things, bro, was I wasn't able to sleep. Like I was sick and had a fever for 9 or 10 days. I did not sleep for those whole 9 days, bro. Like I was up. I'll be lucky if I got an hour of sleep combined
Mm-hmm.
throughout the night. I'll be lucky if I got 1 hour of sleep. I had a constant fever. My heart was constantly racing. I was always checking my heart rate. I was at a steady 115, 120, just laying in bed, not doing nothing. So I couldn't sleep, bro. And after imagine being up for nine days or 8 days in a row,
Mm.
bro. You're in a fog. You can't
Mm-hmm.
focus. Like you're just weak. Like that really made me realize like how important sleep is, bro, because I'm telling you it was worse. I was going crazy, and I think that was like the worst part about it was I could deal with the fever, but
Yeah.
there were nights where like after the second third day of being in bed and being in quarantine in your room, yo, you have nothing to watch. There is nothing on YouTube. There is nothing on Netflix, Hulu. I have all that. There is nothing that caught my attention, and there is nothing that made me keep my focus for more than a minute. So I had nothing to watch, bro. Literally, it was just me and my fiance just talking. I would like wake up. I would like be up. It'd be like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I just wake up just to get out of bed and just walk around my bed just because it was something to do.
I
Like it
used to
was
feel like
bad.
that too, bro. I used to have restless leg syndrome. If anybody don't know what that is, it's like when you're on dialysis for some reason, you're some people, a lot of people actually get restless leg syndrome, and it's like the worst. It's like it's almost like you know like when you normally try to go to bed, you just lay down and your body feels tired and you like get into this relaxed state and you fall asleep. But when you get restless legs, you can't get relaxed. Like no matter how you try to like lay down to get comfortable, like no position is comfortable and it keeps you up. And it literally feels like your legs are like there's like energy shooting through your legs and it's like you got to get up and walk, but like your head is tired, like your mind is tired
Hmm.
but your body's like it feels active. It's like the worst feeling, bro. And a lot of people got to take medication for that. But
Yeah,
yeah, that reminds me of that, bro. That's the worst, man. When you like your brain, like your head is like exhausted, like your brain, and you know you need sleep, but your body just won't let you sleep. It's like a
yeah. Like
slow
my
killing.
my parents, like they got it, and my fiance got it too. And they were able to sleep. Like my mom and my dad, they were in bed like sleeping for most of the time that they had it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn, I wish I could sleep because I'm up 23 hours every day. They're probably up six,
Yeah,
so
they were recovering
COVID,
properly.
yeah, so COVID to them probably felt like 4 days. COVID to me felt like a month,
Damn.
so, and then on top of me not being able to sleep, I had a high fever. My fever was like 102 point something.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would take the Tylenol and it would take my fever away, right? So I could only take Tylenol every 6 hours. when I took it, my fever would come back for every 4 hours. So for 2 hours, I was burning up. I would have to like jump into a cold ass shower. Like I remember, yeah, I remember laying on the bathtub floor, bro, and having cold ass water sprinkle on me in my underwears, bro, just like this. Like,
damn.
people don't know that, bro. I was going through it, and I would have to do that at least like 2 or 3 times a day because my fever would come back, but I can't take Tylenol, so I would have to like put cold compresses on me or jump in a cold ass shower. And you know, when you have a fever, yeah, but you know, when you have a fever and you're in, the cold feels worse, bro. Like it feels
the chills.
cold. Yeah, bro, I had the chills and the house was like 73, 72, and I had the chills. I was, bro, shaking like this, shaking. So that, lost of appetite, I wasn't eating nothing. Water tasted disgusting, and they told me I had to hydrate myself. So yeah, so I had it all, bro. I wasn't eating, lost of smell, no appetite, couldn't taste anything. Fever always coming back, couldn't sleep. Constantly going to the bathroom, like bad, like once or twice every hour. So then I finally, like one day, like I had to muster up the strength to go to the doctor, see what they can do in regards to my fever always coming back. So they did a test on me. She said, listen, you need to hydrate yourself. She's like, you know what? If you don't eat, that's fine. Whatever, you lose some weight, you could always gain it back or whatever. She's like, but if you don't hydrate yourself, you can die. She's like, especially you got a fever. And mentioned when I walked in to the urgent care to sign in, I almost passed out for the first time in my life, bro. Like I was standing there signing my name, and I was like, I had the mask on, and the girl was talking to me, and like I just felt it. Like I started breaking out in sweat. Like I was breaking out in sweat, not doing nothing. And I was like, yo, this lady needs to hurry up and stop talking so I can sit down because I'm about to pass out.
I know that feeling. I've been there, bro. It's scary.
And there was people, bro. I was like, yo, that's gonna be so embarrassing if I just wake up from the floor and people are like, oh my God, you okay? Ambulance comes, stuff like that. So whatever. She like finally stopped talking and I sat down real quick and I had to like pull my mask down and start breathing because I was about to pass out. Anywho, she gave me like some steroids or whatever. And then so I go home. And then one of my neighbors, she's like a nurse and stuff like that. She was like, you should go to the hospital. They give you, they have this treatment where it's like, antibody treatment.
How's my battery running low? Oh, my bad, bro. Let me plug my my laptop in. I was gonna say my battery's running low. I'm still listening though.
Yeah. So the nurse was telling me how like my neighbor was telling me how like people go to the hospital to get an antibody treatment and they walk out of there feeling 10 times better and pretty much like it speeds up the process of the virus of COVID. So I went to the emergency room. I didn't realize how long the whole process was. I thought they just connect you to an IV and you're in and out of there in an hour. But I went there. I told them what I was going there for. They connected me to an IV. And they were giving me whatever the antibody treatment. And bro, I was sitting upright in this room for probably like 3 or 4 hours, bro, while I was getting that IV treatment.
Yeah, so, them IV treatments is like, you got to be patient for that, man.
I didn't realize. I thought it was like, they just inject you real quick and that's it. But
so they gave you fluids through IV.
Yeah, it had the whole bag, the whole pouch or whatever hanging.
Yeah.
So So whatever, man, I had that. And I remember walking out of there not feeling a whole much different. I was like, damn, I thought like I was gonna be like super good. I still didn't feel super good.
Mm.
Anyways, yeah, my fiance picked me up from the hospital. Must have been around like I went there like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, evening. I got out like around maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I went home. Um I don't know, went home. Nothing really changed at that point. But then a day or two later is when I had gone. This is probably like day 7 of COVID.
Mhm.
Um, I went downstairs to get something because I had probably a glass of water because I had to stay hydrated. Um, but then as I'm walking up the stairs, like I have a pretty decent amount of stairs going up to the second floor. I remember I got up. By the time I got to the top of the stairs, I was like completely out of breath, which is something new because I walk up those stairs all the time. So
Mhm.
I was like out of breath but I couldn't catch my breath. Like I wasn't satisfied. So like I found myself trying to like breathing really fast, but little bit, like little gasps of air really
You couldn't
fast. And
breathe
I'm
all the
like,
way.
yeah, I was like, yo, why can't I catch my breath? So I started panicking. So
Oh,
my heart's
shit.
beating even more and I'm breathing harder even more. And like, I remember I went into my room and I kind of like laid down on my bed and I told my fiance, I was like, yo, I can't breathe. Like, so I'm
Mm.
having like a little mini panic attack. And she's like, she has, thank God for her. And thank God that she had bought this, but she had bought an oximeter,
Yeah.
the thing you put on your finger and it measures the blood alcohol level,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
oxygen level,
Yeah.
alcohol level. It measures the oxygen levels in your blood.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
a normal person has anywhere between 90 to 100 oxygen level in their blood, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had been doing this while I had COVID. Me and my girl, we would constantly do breathing exercises and we would, measure the oxygen in our blood. And I was steady in the 90s, so was she. But then when I did it this time, it was literally dropping right in front of us. Like it went from like 83, 82, 80, 78, 77, and it stopped at
Yeah.
77. So if your oxygen drops below 90,
Mm-hmm.
like you have to go to the emergency room, like it's something serious. So
Mm-hmm.
she's like, get ready. We're going to the emergency room right now. Bro, it's like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. I'm like,
That's the worst. I hate
I don't,
going to the hospital that time.
especially I was just there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and the thing that sucked about it too is my insurance didn't kick in from my job yet. So I'm like, great, damn, now I'm gonna have to pay for this all out of pocket too.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, she's like, whatever, it's your life. So we go to the emergency room again. They bring me into a room. I let them know what's happening. They start running all these tests on me. They check my blood oxygen level. And again, it was like in the 80s, like 82, which was still very low. They did like a CAT scan when you go through that machine, that little circle thing around you, and
Yep.
you have to like, drink this thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
CAT scan or MRI, I don't know, one of those things.
MRIs. That's an MRI, I believe.
So whatever, they did that. What else? They took X-rays of my lungs, and he comes back. The doctor comes into the room, and he's like, Mr. Alonso, and he looks worried, and he's like, so you have COVID pneumonia,
Mm.
and I'm like, now I know what COVID pneumonia is because when I first moved to North Carolina, I started working. I started working a side job, and I met one of my really good friends out here, which was one of my first really good friends out here. This guy named Justin, and I would go over his house all the time. He started teaching me like the stock market. He started teaching me how to do like trade options trading and how all that stuff worked.
Yeah.
You know, he was pretty successful too, had a big house, super cool guy, always cooking, and
Mhm.
you know, he was just a real good friend. Um, before I got COVID, he actually died from COVID pneumonia a
Damn.
little less than a week before
Wow.
I got it. So I was still going through like knowing that like, man, my friend passed away. I can't believe it because it happened so quick.
It happens fast, man.
And I didn't even know he
But
was in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? He didn't tell me he was in the hospital. I found out from his fiance that he passed away through a Facebook post. So I messaged her. I was like, wait, what happened with Justin? She's like, he passed away from COVID pneumonia. Well, that's how. A couple of days later, I get COVID. A couple of days later, the doctor's telling me I got COVID pneumonia. So I'm freaking out, bro. I'm like, great. He's like, we're going to have to put you on oxygen. I'm like, that's not a good sign either.
damn.
So he's like, you're going to have to stay here. I'm like, oh my God. So like now I got to stay in the hospital too. I didn't even get to go home that night, bro.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend's freaking out. And then he's like, there's a couple of things that we could do to increase your chances of survival. He's like saying all this stuff. I'm like,
Yo, that's crazy, man.
yeah, it's
Damn.
a lot to take in, bro. It's a lot to take in.
Especially if someone like you, because you just shared how
I never get
you,
sick.
you never get sick, you're typically healthy all the time, and then now all of a sudden it's like they talking to you about how they're gonna help you survive, bro. Like that's just insane to like deal with that, especially when you're just never in a situation like that health wise.
Never been admitted to a hospital.
Wow.
Right? You know, I had one surgery in my life. I got my tonsils removed when I was a kid, but that was a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So this was all just like a lot to take in. So like my mind is racing. So he's like, you know, there's some things that we could do to increase survival.
Mhm.
He's like, we have a couple of treatments like remdesivir and stuff like that. And my girlfriend's like, you have remdesivir? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, but isn't that like $150,000? And he's like, it's somewhere around there. And in my head, I'm like, great. Now I'm gonna have a hospital bill for, you know what I'm saying?
And you
Because
you didn't have any health insurance or anything like that?
so when I started my new job at the bank,
Hmm.
it takes 2 months before your insurance kicks in.
Oh wow. So you
I
just
was
started the
already,
job.
yeah. So like my insurance was literally gonna kick in next week, bro. Next week my insurance kicked in, and this happened a week before my insurance kicked in. So she said, so the doctor was like, yeah, it's like around 100,000 or something like that. And my fiance is like, we'll do it. And I'm like, yo, what? I'm like, yo.
All in the same sentence.
I was like,
That's a hundred
yeah.
thousand, right? We gotta do it. He
Yo,
needs to live.
yeah. For a split second, I was contemplating like if it was worth it or not. I was like, it's my time. But nah, so she said that. So they went ahead and they admitted me or whatever.
Hmm.
So I was there for about a week. Um, but yeah, man, that was dreadful too. Just staying in the bed for a whole week. Being attached to an IV,
Hmm.
being attached to an oxygen monitoring system.
Now,
You
when
know,
they give you the oxygen, like, do they actually put a tube down your throat? I wasn't sure about
no,
that. Okay.
no. So there's they said there's 3 levels of
Mhm.
oxygen. All right. So the first level is like the little plastic nozzle that goes in your nose. Right. It
Mhm.
gives you a certain dosage of oxygen. The next one is the mask, where they give
Mhm.
you a mask and it's like higher doses of oxygen. The third level is like the ventilator, and I think that's when they put the thing down your throat and they
Oh,
like,
okay. So they
yeah,
didn't do the ventilator on you.
they didn't do the ventilator on me,
Oh,
thank
that's
God.
good.
I had the mask. The doctors and nurses actually said that that I came just in time, because if I
Wow.
would have waited any longer, like
They
the
would have
chance
to.
of me
Mhm.
surviving would have been like little to none. So thank God for my fiance, and thank God that she was smart enough to buy that little oxygen meter, because who knows, bro, if she wasn't with me, I probably would have, like, you know what I'm saying, just try to like see if my body could fight it off on itself, because I never go to the hospital. So
Yeah.
thank God she was there to like really push me, and you know, was smart enough to know that like it was probably my oxygen dropping. So
Yeah, man. And that's super crucial that you caught that early, man, because
super
unfortunately for a lot of people, they don't get to do that. You know, they have the same idea that you just shared, and they say they're gonna let their body fight it. And unfortunately, it's too late, you know, when you do that, because then you get to the hospital and yeah, man, they're gonna put that ventilator on you. And I hear when they do the ventilator, it's like it's almost
no
like a death
good.
sentence. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's like
wow.
too late.
So man, so with the whole adversity that you face with this battle with COVID, man, what would you say was like the most challenging part of it? Like what was the most difficult part about the whole COVID experience?
Symptom wise, I would say the restless nights, not being able to sleep at all,
Mhm.
um, and just being bored and being in like a daze for like the duration for long periods of time.
Because you had like mental fog, right? Like it adds to like this
Yeah,
mental fog.
that's a good way to describe it. I was like mentally, yeah, it was like a mental fog.
Mhm.
Again, couldn't sleep. I was bored. Literally every second that went by probably felt like five.
Mhm.
Like time just went super, super slow. Um,
And yeah, that's yeah. When you can't get sleep, that's like slow torture, bro. That's
yeah,
terrible.
but
Yeah.
that's for symptoms. Now, the whole COVID experience, obviously thinking that you just got like flu-like symptoms or that you're just sick, to
Mhm.
a doctor pretty much saying that there's a good chance that you could die in a couple of days. Um, that's probably the scariest thing,
Mhm.
especially if you have like a family and you have a daughter. Like that was one of the hardest things. Is like, I'm like, damn, I'm about to get married. I have a fiance. I have a daughter that needs me.
Mhm.
I have people, some people that may not know, I have full custody of my daughter. She lives with me. And, me and her are like this. Like, that's my mini me. Me and her pretty much have the same personality. So me and her are super close.
Yeah, man.
And, yeah, I just couldn't think about the possibility of me leaving this place without her, because I know I'm her everything and she's my everything.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
That's definitely the hardest part of like battling your own health, man. I could definitely relate to that feeling, you know, with my whole experience with dialysis, man. Like when I was at my worst, like when I felt like my symptoms were getting worse and I felt like it wasn't getting better, there was times where like there were nights where I thought I was gonna die, bro. And like
Really?
yeah, man. I had a lot of nights that I thought I was going like I felt like I was
You mean,
dying.
like, how do you feel during that time? Like, you
Well,
just feel
because
like,
you progressively see like your body deteriorating. Like people don't know like kidney failure, like it affects other aspects to yourself, like everything. Like one of the worst things, and I haven't really shared too much, but one of the worst things I experienced was like breakouts. Like I had these skin breakouts, and I honestly felt like with these breakouts, I didn't know if it was cancer sometimes. Like I was like, yo, because when you have kidney failure, like your body is fighting with that, and like your immune system is lowered. So the chances of you getting cancer and other things, it raises up. So every time I had a new breakout or something, I'm like, damn, is this skin cancer? And I would get them like sometimes like on a vein or something like that. It was bad, bro. And like, so I just felt like one day I was gonna get like some type of like terminal disease. But not only that, man, I battled with like my like digestion system, bro. Like my stomach was always like active and making noises, bro. My hair, bro, like I was like losing hair, like just man, I was getting thrush sometimes. Like I don't know if you know what thrush is, but it's like when you get like this white film like on your tongue and your mouth, it's like a fungi, bro. Like literally your body's defense system is just lowered. So everything like you just get like all these weird ticks in your body. Not to mention the weakness, the muscle loss. And like, so yeah, man. So there was nights where I would be laying down and I just felt like my body was deteriorating. And then on top of that, I'm in a bunch of kidney groups. So I'm constantly seeing other people posting about death. Like people are constantly dying that are on dialysis, bro. Like they might seem fine one day, and the next thing you know, you hear, oh, you heard what happened to so and so? They passed away in their sleep. So it's
What?
like, yeah, bro, people are dying,
Man,
bro.
that's
Literally,
scary as hell.
people are just dying, bro. They're just dropping like flies on dialysis. So well, it became like reality to me that that could happen to me. And my mind was so consumed with that for a while, like, especially when I was in my depressed state, because like when you're depressed, you think more negative about everything. So I was constantly thinking about death, bro. I was like, damn, I'm dying. I'm going to die. And like,
That's too, like not knowing if you're gonna wake up the next morning.
yeah,
That's
man. There
I
were
can't even
times, there were
imagine.
times I'll be sleeping and all of a sudden I'll wake up like I was like not breathing in my sleep. Like I was just like wake up like
Like out
like
of
catch my
breath or
breath.
something.
Yeah, like I was like, damn, was I dying just now? You know what I mean? Like I was just terrified. And then it got to a point where I started making a journal and I would start writing like life lessons for my kids, bro. Cause I was like, damn, if I die one day, like I kept thinking about, then that brings me to why I'm mentioning this. Cause what you said about your daughter, I had the same thoughts. Like I was thinking about everything, like what would be the impact of my life if I did die? And then I started thinking about like my kids came up to me the most, and then like my heart broke for them. I'm like, there's no way I could die when they're this young. Like it's gonna be too traumatic for them. And then I was like, damn, bro, like I just was so sad. So I just started writing to them in my phone. Like I made a whole folder in my phone, like a journal. And I was gonna write like every single night. I started writing like every night in there, like, hey, listen, like just life lessons on how to be a man. You know what I mean? Like things that I learned and like how to carry yourself in the world, how to have faith in God. Like I was like putting all these principles and these like thoughts that I felt like were gonna help them carry them through. And yeah, that was the lowest I was, bro. And actually, it's funny that we even talking about this because just recently I was going through my notes on my phone and I came across that. And that was just in January of this year. It was in January I was making that journal. And then now it's like it feels like a full 360, bro. Like I went from like feeling like I was gonna die to like feeling like, yo, I'm living, and not only am I living, but I'm like thriving. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I can't wait till I start getting back in the gym and like lifting again. Like I'm still waiting for everything to heal, but like even just like the walks that I've been doing and like the miles I've been putting in, like it just feels like I'm getting stronger every day. So it's crazy how much God could do for you, man, in a short period of time. Because I was like, I definitely felt like that, and our kids, man, like they definitely need us, bro. So it's like I could definitely relate to that what you said about your daughter. Like any real father that cares about their kids, man, that's a real feeling right there, man. It's like
yeah.
they need us, you know what I mean, more than anything.
And you got two. You got
Yeah,
two.
yo, two boys, man, and it's like, yeah, it's like I want to have a legacy, bro. Like I want them to, you know, I want them to do better than I did, man. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to put that much pressure on them, but like there's so many things I regret in my past, man. And it's like I just want them to be able to like bypass all that stuff I went through. But I also realized that sometimes like we gotta go through things to learn. Like sometimes it's like, yo,
100.
it's necessary to go through that stuff, man. It's necessary to go through the hard times. It builds character, you know?
Yep.
So
Sure.
going back to you, man, like you just spoke about what was the most difficult part of battling with COVID and with your life on the line. What can you say is like something that you probably learned the most from your experience? What is something that you like are carrying with you since that whole experience?
Um, that you're not untouchable.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I feel like a lot of people go through life thinking they're like, oh nah, that can never happen to me. The chances of that happening to me is not likely. And I'm one of those people, you know what I mean? That like I was like, I felt like being that I never ever get sick, rarely. I felt that like I never I never took COVID serious. And I was like, how are people dying from this? You know, blah blah blah. Um, but then I ended up getting it and I got it the worst. Like the doctor literally told me, he's like, everything bad that you can get with COVID, he's like, you got. So just yeah, don't play around with this virus, man. This thing is not to be played with. But yeah, just don't think that you're ever untouchable with anything in life because it could happen. You know, hopefully it doesn't, but like, you know, people think they're untouchable, but you could get touched. Trust me.
That's real. Yeah, man. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago, and me, God, and the boys, we all went to Smith Haven Mall. And then after we went to the mall, there was like this trampoline place that's like right down the road. It's I don't know if you remember where that's at. It's in the plaza where you remember where the Applebee's used to be next to the mall, next to Smith Haven Mall.
It's not
And then
there no more.
behind, no, the Applebee's is still there, but behind there used to be like a
Like
Raymore
Macy's
Flanagan.
furniture store or something like that. Yeah, yeah, it was a furniture store.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they took that out now, and now they made it like this kids trampoline place. So we went there to take the kids there, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was paranoid the whole time. I feel like that was the most people I've seen in an enclosed place since COVID happened, bro. Like there was literally kids everywhere jumping on top of each other, just humans, bro, just breathing on each other. It felt like that place was up past capacity. And I was like, why are we here? Like, I feel like I was like, looking at Gab, I was like, yo, how many people you think have COVID here? She was like, at least like 10% of the people probably have COVID. I'm like, damn, yo, there's COVID all in here right now. And the crazy thing about it is like there was like no ventilation. It felt like it was like no ventilation. It was just like, and it
It was
felt
just like
hot in there.
a bubble. You were stuck in a bubble.
We were in a bubble, bro. And then we just wanted the kids to have fun. But I'm like, I don't feel like this is smart. I'm like, this is not smart that we're here. And the kids are just having fun. They're like running around like, woo. And I'm just like, yo, I'm putting the mask on. And then I go to the they have the sanitizer stands. So I try to go use a sanitizer stand. It's not working, bro. It's broken.
It's
I'm
out.
like, yo,
It's out.
I'm like, yo, I need the sanitizer, bro. I'm like tapping the thing, bro. It's not working. I'm like, damn, they trying to kill us. But luckily, man, we got out of there and no symptoms, man. But I was like, yo, if I was gonna ever get COVID, it would have been in there, man. And what's scary is like I gotta be extra careful because I'm on immune suppressants. You know what I mean? Because with the transplant, like my body could attack the transplant at any time. So to stop the body from rejecting the organ, they suppress your immune system with medication. So right now, like I can't even drink green tea, bro, because green tea raises your immune system. You know what I mean? Like anything that's supposed to raise your immune system, like they tell me to stay away from because it's going to counteract it with the medicine. So it's crazy, bro. Like I could literally, like I can't be around anyone that gets sick. Like I gotta be super careful. Like I gotta wash my hands all the time. So
So
yeah,
what's up? Like you gotta stay on that as
for the
for
rest of my
life.
life, as long as I have this transplant.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. That's how it is. I haven't really shared this with too many people, but part of the reason why I lost my first transplant is because number one, I don't know why the law is set up like this, but after a certain amount of time after your transplant, they drop you from insurance. I had Medicaid, Medicare. And for some reason, like after a year or so, they drop you from your insurance, which I guess I understand now and looking back because you should be working by then and then like paying for your own health insurance. I didn't do that right away. So they dropped my insurance. So the medication I used to take was really expensive, bro. It was like, I don't remember, but probably like $300 and up. And I got to get it like every 2 weeks, bro, like every 3 weeks.
Damn.
So it got to a point where, I could have found insurance and I was running out of medicine. So
So you
instead of taking my regular dose, I started stretching it out. I was missing doses. And ultimately that led to my kidney probably rejecting. But man, I was young, bro. And but at the same time, I thought I was, like you said, I thought I was indestructible, because at that time I was probably the healthiest and the most fit I ever was in my life. Like,
I saw that. Yeah, you got a bad brother. I remember. That's when you was where would you live in? Ronkonkoma?
I was
And
living around Kokomo, bro. So I had like my first apartment. I was getting paid pretty good money. Like I was working for my dad and I was doing other things for money, like side jobs here or there. And then like I had a gym in the complex that I went to every day. Like I was dedicated, like just lifting weights. So, I was never the type of person to work out. Like I was skinny my whole life. So all of a sudden I see my body change and I just felt like, oh, nothing's gonna happen to me. And then on top of it, I was like, this is my mom's kidney. So our blood is the same. Like my body ain't gonna attack this kidney. Like I had all these dumb like bro science concepts in
yeah,
my
yeah.
head, you know what I mean, that I thought was gonna carry me through. And just looking back, bro, I was like retarded, man. It was just stupid. Like, you don't understand, man. When I was on dialysis these last 3 years, there was so many days where I just was like, why? Like, why did I do that? Like, why did I think like that? Like, and then now that's why I'm so serious about like my progression now with this transplant, because I'm like, I can't go backwards, man. I can't go back to the way I used to think, man. Like now I got my medication on clockwork, bro. Like I got this whole system set up. Like I got this like pill tray for every day of the week. And like Sundays, every Sunday I fill it up with all my meds. I take my meds on time now. I don't miss them. And I'm on top of it. Like all the details that go to it, bro. Like I'm on it. Like, even when like I notice that the meds are running low, I'm already taking notes. Okay, I gotta reorder this. And honestly, that kind of leaked out into all aspects of my life now. Like even with Three Kings, bro, like I realized that my numbers weren't right with Three Kings. Like I was sitting here, ordering stuff and fulfilling orders, and I didn't have my numbers right, like my profit margins and none of that. And I'm still trying to get that together. You know what I mean? But literally it just helped me realize that attention to detail is like important, man. Like for everything. And I used to neglect numbers. I used to neglect all like the little details to life, man. And now it's like, man, even with my room, bro, like I organized my room now. Like I got rid of a bunch of mail I had sitting. Like I had mail sitting from like 4 years, bro, that I just never went through. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely a good thing, man. I'm just trying to be more conscious now with everything, bro. But
Man, that's good, bro. Like I've been trying to get more organized too.
mm,
Um, I invested like a day into like a daily planner. I got like a calendar where like I
mhm,
mark stuff off. Daily planner.
mhm.
And I'm like motivated to fill that daily planner. Like I'll do like I even got like I utilize the calendar app on the iPhone more, make
Mhm.
appointments, reminders and stuff like that. Because I feel like there's just not enough time in the day anymore. Like I go to work, I come back from work, especially now it gets dark out early. So
Mhm.
you feel like the day's already over.
Yeah.
I gotta be a father. I gotta be a fiance, and then I need some time to myself for personal development and personal growth and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I feel like there's no time for that. You know what I'm saying? By the time I'm done being a father, making dinner, being a fiance, there's no time for it. It's time to go to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Do the whole thing. So I've been trying to do my best just to be organized and
Yeah.
set routine schedules to get things done.
Mhm.
Um, because I just need that extra. I need to really like manage my time better to get the things that I need to get done and to be, that person for my daughter and my fiance and my family. So
That's real, bro.
I
I'm on the
definitely
same way.
feel what you're saying because I've been doing that, been trying to do the same thing as well, as well as being organized and stuff like that. Trying to look for different ventures to um, make extra money. Me and my
Hmm.
brother were trying to work on something, some business opportunities, you know,
But like you
man,
said, man, it's about dividing your time. Like
yeah,
your schedules, everything, man. Like I'm on the same thing, bro. Like I'm really trying to set up like what I really want to do is have every hour accounted for, like of the day. But I feel like the discipline behind that is like you got to be disciplined. You know what I mean? And right now, my sleep cycle is messed up because they got me on prednisone, and prednisone's like a steroid, so it keeps me like up at night, bro. Like when I go home, like
bro,
right
you was
now.
up at like 2 o'clock in the morning posting stuff. I was like, yo, I was gonna text you. I was gonna text you like, yo, go to bed. But then like when I went to our text chat, it said like you had it on silence. So I was like,
No,
what?
but I still see it. I still see it. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's got me up all night, bro. Like last night, I was up till 4 a.m. and that's with the daylight
Yeesh.
saving. Yeah. And then I went to sleep and then woke up at like 11 a.m. today, but I don't like waking up that late. I just feel like everybody kind of went through the day already and I'm just like rolling out of bed. I don't like that feeling. I feel like I'm getting a late start on the day. So
Yeah, but sleep is important too, though. You got to get at least 6, 7 hours minimum.
yeah, no, that's real, man. Yeah, so I'm definitely on that. And yeah, bro, it's like it's all part of just growing up and getting older. I definitely feel that, man, what you said about splitting up your time between like work, family, and as a man, bro, and as a provider and the head of the household, you wear a lot of hats. Like you gotta wear a lot of hats.
A lot of pressure, bro. It's a lot of pressure on
There's
men
a lot of pressure and
in
we don't
general.
and people don't talk about that a lot, man. It's like they don't talk about what us men go through. It's lately, for me personally, it's just a little different these days because I don't live with the kids right now. And honestly, like I live with them most of my life. No, not most of my life, but most of their lives. And this is like the first time where I was able to, kind of just have time to myself. I needed it because of dialysis. You know what I mean? Like it was like I couldn't really provide during that time. It took up a lot of time on me. So that time that I had to myself was like necessary, bro. Like literally like just being alone. And that's why I talk about solitude so much. Like that solitude for me really helped like change my life and my perspective on everything because that's how I was able to hear from God. Like when I live with like not for nothing, I'm getting ready to like move back in with everybody again, but I'm in a different mindset now. Like, I'm not the same as I was when I lived with them the first time. But like this time when I move back in with them, I'm carrying these principles with me and I'm gonna do things way different. But yeah, this time alone, I was able to hear from God, bro. And it was almost like I had to cut out all these distractions, like all the people that were pulling from me and needed me for certain things. Like it's like when you're always distracted and you're always on the move, it's hard to hear from God and what He wants from you personally. So
Fact,
that's why I'm always talking to people
fact.
about solitude and getting that time alone
No
because
point intended, too. No point
yeah,
intended.
yo, check
Yo,
out the shirt, check out Three Kings and Wild Man. Listen,
little plug, little plug. Go ahead, plug.
listen, man, we gotta get our solitude, man. We gotta get our alone time because God wants to talk to us, and a lot of us we're not gonna hear from Him because we got the TV going, we got the news going
Bro,
on. We're in fear or
straight.
we're in a reaction mode. We tending to the kids, we're tending to our fiance, we're tending to our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our job, our animals, and
Bro,
all these things
so
are
true.
distracting.
It's so true. And I just started realizing this like a couple days ago. Like, I question like, damn, do I even have a conscience anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're just in
and I
robot
just like
mode.
I come to realize I'm like, yo, my mind is so occupied throughout the full day. Like I wake up, I play some music on my phone as I'm getting ready, just brushing my teeth, ironing my clothes. When I'm in the car, music will be played and it
Mhm.
will be played a little higher than average, than normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like, and then I get to work and then I do what I got to do. Like my mind's already going there. When I leave work, music will be played higher than normal. You know, like my mind. And then I come home and like I really like started to realize my mind is on go 24/7. Like there's never like a moment of silence or a moment where like I could just like be to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's not healthy at all. And I think it's important. Maybe that's why, these Buddhists or, certain people, like they do these meditation things. And I
Mm-hmm.
really want to get into that because I feel like when I started practicing that with like not listening to anything while I go to work or, keeping the music down or just being to my own thoughts, I feel like I have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got to do this. I got to do
Mm-hmm.
this. If I want to get to this level, I need to start putting things in place. I need to plan to get there. You know what I'm saying? And I really it's like you step back and you reevaluate your life and you reevaluate the way people may view you,
Mm-hmm.
so you just start to notice more things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, like I kind of like got depressed when one day when I did that, like I really got depressed. Like I felt like, damn, like I need to be a better father. I need to
Mm-hmm.
I'm not spending enough time with my daughter because I'll come home, I spend a little bit of time with her, but then like I'll be in my room relaxing because that's what I want to do when I come home is I want to relax. So I watch TV.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, she's an only child. You know what I'm saying? She don't really got nobody. So it's like if I'm not spending time with her, she's watching TV or
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
damn, I need to be a better father. I need to spend more time with her.
Yeah.
I started reevaluating like me and my fiance's relationship. Like, how does I took like a third person perspective of our relationship. Like, I started questioning myself. Like, is she really happy? Like, I need to like check her mental and see like where she's at. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
like I'm riding this wave like everything's all fine and dandy, but that's in my head. That's not really taking into consideration how she may be feeling,
Yeah.
So I started thinking about that. I just started thinking about life in general, how like, I'm not where I want to be right now. Like I feel like I should be a lot further in life than where I'm at right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I was depressed, bro. I felt alone. I felt alone. Um yeah, it was it was a shitty feeling. And but I've been working towards that. So and I told my daughter, I was like, "Are you happy?" And she's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, daddy." I was like, "Do you think like I need to spend more time with you?" And then she's like, "Yeah, maybe a little bit." So, I've been spending more time with her, trying to do activities, going out to eat and stuff like that.
I see
You know,
that, man. That's beautiful, bro. I feel the same way about me and my son, man. And we actually had a heart to heart one day, man. I'm not gonna lie, like we cried and embraced each other, man. It was like the realest moment of my life, looking back on it, because man, that kid, my oldest, he's such a strong little boy, man. It's I can never imagine being a kid and seeing, my father going through a life-threatening disease. And he's seen it his whole life. And he would always ask me randomly, like, Daddy, is your kidney gonna get better soon? And it's like it would break my heart, man. And so one day we was just talking, and I think this might have been before my transplant. And I don't remember what was said or whatever, but we both just like started tearing, crying, and we embraced each other. And I just held him, and it was almost like we were holding in this like pain for so long. And then we finally like just let it out. And it was such a healing moment for us. And I'm always gonna have that bond with him because like, we just been through so much as a family, man. And like that adversity really just carves you as a person. And like my heart still to this day goes out to him because he's so young, bro. He's only 9 years old, and
yeah,
he's just been through so much, like just from me, watching me go through that stuff. And then like, you know, like even in the beginning of me and his mom's relationship, like we weren't on the best terms all the time, and like we would get into like these toxic arguments in front of him. And you know, we've grown so much since then, but all that trauma just weighs on, you know, it'll weigh on you. And I could see it on him. Like he would act out in school, and you know, he never wanted to socialize with other kids. He would isolate. And you know, I just felt like a lot of the stuff that he's been exposed to really affected him. So like when we had that heart to heart and we was able to like just release together, it was like such a healing moment for me, man. And it's like, you know, since I've been making these changes, I've been making it an effort to spend more time with him and to do exactly what you were just talking about, man, because that's what's important at the end of the day. Like, and that's what I learned with my whole situation was like, you know, when I was feeling like I was down and everything, the only thing that I could, the only, and I was depressed as well. The only thing that really changed my focus and my mindset and made everything shift was when I got the attention off of myself, you know, because I was wallowing in my situation, right? And then it gets to a point where it becomes selfish, you know, because it's like there's people around me that I could be imparting to, but instead I'm so focused on me and what I'm going through, and I'm expecting everybody's empathy and sympathy on me. It's such a selfish thing to do, right? And it's like it almost adds to the depression. So I learned that I need to get the focus off of me and the idea of death, and I need to start putting it on everybody else. Like, who cares what I'm going through or what I'm feeling? Let me see what I could do for my son. Let me see what I could do for my fiance. Let me see what I could do for my mom, my dad. Let me see what I could do for my sister, my brother, you know, my friends. Like, how can I be assistance to them? How can I be of value to them? And like that brought me healing, bro. Like once I got the focus off of myself and I started putting it into everybody around me, it changed everything for me, bro. Like the focus went off of me and I was no longer thinking about death and dying. And it was like, yo, what can I do now to like up my value? What can I do now to like change people's outlook on me and make an impact at the same time? You know, like when you're facing death and you're facing like your mortality, you think about the impact you had on people. And that's why I'm so active nowadays. Like people might see me and they're like, yo, he wants attention. Like, you know what I mean? He's doing this for attention. And it's like, you got me so wrong, bro. Like you really do. I'm not doing this for attention. Like, you know, I thought about me just dying one day and then just being like, yeah, he was a funny dude. He was cool and that's it. But like I'm really like I'm putting evidence of my real feelings and my thoughts and what I feel could heal people out there. And it's saved, you know, it's saved onto the cloud, it's saved onto forever. It's on Facebook. You know, people gonna know really what I'm trying to spread. And it's all about impact for me, man. Like that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Like how many people around you and how many loved ones you can impact in a positive way. And it's unfortunate that people sometimes will misread you. You know, like that always bothers me, man. And it's like that shit hurts my heart, man. Like especially the people close to you, like you know. And then it's like that's a whole nother topic, man. I don't even want to get into that, but
Yeah, that's a whole other beast, bro.
I
Like
feel
I feel
like
you. I feel like your mental and your perspective and outlook on things could really like be the whole difference, bro. Like they say, like the glass half empty, half full.
mhm.
Like it's really all just like like just thinking a certain way and just like again perspective. Like you know, like me, like if I'm having, you know, a busy day at work and it's just a lot of like BS, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like instead of thinking like, oh man, this day sucks or whatever, like I hate people, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta like I try to like trick myself or look at it in a different way, like, you know what, you really are making a difference in people's lives by helping them out. You know,
Mhm.
every situation that you encounter is just going to make you better at what you do, better, a better banker, better at your position,
Mhm.
whatever, blah blah blah. You're just building accolades. So like that could really make the difference in like you hating your job and you like wanting to get better and build. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Because you're helping others.
yeah, bro.
You
It's
change it,
perspective.
you change it from, yeah, looking at it like a job, and it's like, no, I'm really here helping people with their
Yeah,
finances.
but you could apply that skill in different areas. You know what I'm saying? Apply it to changing your mindset on everything and look at the positive and look at the other aspect, and it does make a difference.
Yeah, man, for real. So now that we're talking about that, man, this is like actually my last question for you. Um, what do you feel like is the biggest misconception people might have of you as a person?
um I don't know, man. I feel like I could be misunderstood.
Hmm.
I feel like people may it depends on like what the relationship is to me. You know what I'm saying? Some people may view me as the guy that always likes to joke around, have a good time.
Hmm.
Some people may view me as cocky, full of himself, jerk, or a troublemaker. You know what I'm saying? Some people may view me as that.
Hmm.
And then, some people view me as a good friend, someone who's loyal, someone who always got their back. So, I mean, people may view me differently, but what I can say, I can speak my truth is, I'm someone that is a true definition of a friend. I'm someone that would, if you're stuck in another state or if you're stuck somewhere, your car broke down and it's a 2+ hour drive to go get you, like I'll do that in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I'm that type of person. Do I like to joke around, have a good time? Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's just I feel like I have a good heart.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm just misunderstood. I feel like people, may think the worst of me sometimes as being the bad guy or whatnot, but that's not the case. I feel like I am a good friend, loyal, and I don't know, just a good person. That's who
No,
I
I
feel.
agree, bro. I feel like a lot of times when like these falling downs happen with people that we love and we care about, I think one of the main things comes up to my head is miscommunication.
Misunderstanding, miscommunication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like sometimes people, it's hard for them to communicate or articulate how they feel. And sometimes people, like you said, they will misinterpret what you're saying. And a lot of that just has to do with like, not really like being like having a real one-to-one with somebody.
Yeah.
Cause you might hear somebody say something and then you're confused about it. And then you go to talk about it with somebody else. And now that person that you're talking about it with, they might not conceptualize things the right way. Like they might have their own messed up way of thinking. And then all of a sudden you're getting advice from somebody that already has these biases, and then they're feeding into your, you know what I mean, your whole like paranoid feeling of like what this person meant. And then it just kind of engulfs and spirals out of control. And I feel like a lot of times these things could be nipped in the bud when you go and address it with the person you have a problem with. Like as a man, sometimes you just got to bring it up to the person and have a one-on-one, man-to-man conversation. Like, hey, bro, I felt like this for a while. And then, well, also another thing what happen is with us men is that we have pride. So like the pride is going to stop us from like actually reaching out and having these conversations. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, F that person, bro. They think this of me, or they said this, they ain't come through for me, or whatever the case is. And it's like, bro, that pride is a killer, man. That pride is a killer. And it works both ways. Sometimes like for me, like one of the first things I did with my healing, like I told you, I was in that solitude state for a long time. And, God was talking to me, bro. And like, I felt like I held resentment towards certain people, and like there was just like a lot of things that I held in. And then I learned that, like the more I hold on to these feelings, it's just poisoning myself. It's poisoning my own like happiness. And I was like, yo, I gotta let this stuff go. And even if I feel like this person did me wrong or this person wasn't there for me, I gotta just reach out and make sure that we're good. Like, or just show love to this person. Like that's like the biggest thing you could do as a man is give love to the people that you feel like don't even deserve it. Cause then they'll be like, damn, like, yo, why is he always coming through and like showing love when like I never even come through for them? Like it really makes them look deep inside themselves and be like, yo, you know what I mean? Like he's different. Like, you know what? I'm gonna let that go. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, that really changed everything for me. And like I'm just learning that communication is a major tool. Like I was telling myself the other day, like, man, like if I go back to school, like actually I did some research on this. Communications, they said, is like one of the worst classes you could take in college. Like you can't get a real job with communications. But I'm like, damn, I really want to take a communications course, man. Like
I feel like communication is like your words, like communicating and your words is like one of the most powerful things you can have, bro. Because if you're a good talker or you know how to articulate, put together sentences and really get your point across, and like you're powerful.
mm-hmm.
And like, bro, back in the day, like I used to smoke. We used to smoke. You know what I'm saying? Bro, there'd be times where like I would smoke and I feel like that was like just activate something in my brain. And I remember I used to be able to get myself out of the wildest arguments, like conversations, you know what I'm saying, with girlfriends that would be mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be lit and I'd be just talking my way out. And I'm like, in my head, these words are coming out and I'm like putting together these well put sentences and everything. And I talk myself out of like a crazy situation. And I'll be sitting back like, damn, bro, like the power of like wordplay and communication and stuff like that.
But
I said all that.
You know what? Listen, I gotta cut you off, but you know what that does? Like, there's components in marijuana that makes you just want to get along with everybody. So sometimes, like, like what I was saying before with the whole pride. When you're sober, bro, and as a man, we all got pride, right? So it's like sometimes we want to argue our point and be right. When you're under the influence of weed, they say that marijuana has like a feminine energy to it. So sometimes you might be more like willing to agree with the person just for the sake of peace. And all of a sudden, that feeling of like wanting to get your point across, it gets diminished and broken down. And you're just more like, you know what, babe, I love you. It's all good. Like, you know what I mean?
It makes the situation all better. Like,
yeah. And sometimes that works, unless you got a girl that's like, like most girls want a man that's masculine.
like,
So,
oh, okay.
you know what I mean? So that won't work all the time for certain girls, bro. Like there's girls that like they need a man that's masculine. So if you're under the influence of that and you got a feminine spirit to you after doing that, it's gonna cause more conflict.
Yes, man.
Yeah, they don't want that. They want you to take control, man.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I just brought that up just to prove the point that like communication is big, and if you can master that art with like talking, like that'll take you places. So like like you can't get a job just based off maybe communication, but that degree or that class and course in college of communications would definitely make you excel in whatever field of work that you go to.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
But not communication.
I'm still interested.
Yeah, communication and misunderstanding is definitely big because especially in text messages, bro. Like me and my fiance, we get into like stupid arguments all the time over text messages.
It's the worst.
Like either I misread something, because if you're reading something real quick, sometimes you like miss a word and that word changes the whole dynamic of that whole conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like text messages is easily to be misunderstood
all the time. It has
Because
everything.
how many different versions of communication is there? There's verbal,
Mhm.
there's tone, there's
Tonality,
language. You know what I'm saying? And then text message, all you're getting is
the verbal side. You're just reading it. There's no
literal, yeah,
tonality
like
behind it.
literal
There's no
stuff.
emotion. That's why emojis is big. I
Everything.
try to throw emojis in like all my texts.
Yeah, no, and you got to like you got to utilize the exclamation point. You got to utilize like all these little things to really get your to set the tone. Because if you're just just writing something,
Mhm.
you could say it in 5 different tones, and that's gonna make the person interpret that a totally different way each time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of miscommunication under text messaging, whatever.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, man. That and
I
that's
agree
part
with
of that's
that.
part of the whole entire thing of communication. Like I could also agree with that with me and my fiance because like a lot of our arguments will come from tonality, bro. And it's like I'm learning that, man, how I say things sometimes, like I gotta watch myself because also like we have a playful relationship. See, I don't want to get too deep, too personal because I feel like we kind of get in there, but I will just say that I'm just gonna make this last point. We like to we're very playful with each other. Like how we like to like we communicate with each other sometimes. Like we'll like make fun of each other and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because it's funny, we just crack on each other and we just cut on each other. But sometimes it gets like it blurs the
Yeah,
lines.
like that, bro. I will co-sign that. Yo, she
Yo, honestly, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to listen, she's gonna kill me if she watches this, but I gotta be real.
nah.
No,
Gab is
listen, I gotta be
no,
real.
real though. Well, I say Gab is not to be played with. Like, I definitely know she got jokes,
Yeah.
but yeah, nah, she
I gotta be
strikes.
transparent, man. And I never was like, I was always like trying to be super respectful of my relationship. And then when I got with her, I realized like, oh, we could play around with each other like this. So I got more used to it ever since I met her. So we would like just crack jokes on each other. But like what I was saying is it blurs the line of respect sometimes because like we were just talking about communication, it's all tonality. So if I'm sitting here, sometimes I'll just respond crazy to her. And I'm doing it like half joking, but like all of a sudden it just becomes natural because that's how we communicate with each other. And I'll say something wild, and then all of a sudden she might take offense and then like respond back disrespectfully. And all of a sudden I'm taking offense and then I'm responding back disrespectfully. Now we just in a full out argument, bro. Just off of just like
Bro,
communication,
that's me.
tonality.
Yo, and my girl may feel I don't know, but bro, that's the same thing too. It's like me, bro. I always joke around. I'm always cracking jokes. And it's like when we're together and we do that, like everything is fine. But like as soon as I start cracking jokes, like via text message or something like that, sometimes she takes it the wrong way, and then it goes left, and then it turns into an argument over something
Mm-hmm.
innocent. So it's like I don't even know how to like. What do you do? Like, did you find a solution to that, or are you still working towards that? Because if you found a
Man.
solution, I need that solution too.
You know what I learned, man? It's sometimes the respect has to be put on the pedestal. And although there's gonna be times where we get misinterpreted, um, we have to like quickly realize that and then just be like, oh yo, I didn't mean it like that. And then just like apologize, man. I think that's the only thing we could do. Cause if you let your pride get involved and then you like all of a sudden like, nah, I didn't mean it like that. And then you fighting your point, and then she's like, yeah, you did, because now I feel like this. And it's like, first of all, what I learned with like arguments and stuff is like sometimes you don't always have to be right, And I feel like a lot of times in arguments, people want to be right. It's just natural, People want to argue their point and then they just want to be right. But it's like sometimes as a man, to preserve the peace, we just gotta let them have it sometimes, you know. And it might make it seem like you're giving up or whatever, or you're just like letting them have their way. But if you really love that person, man, sometimes you just gotta let it go and let them have it. I don't know. That's all. That's the only
Battles,
thing I could think of.
gotta pick and choose your battles.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Now, obviously, if it's something serious and you got to make your point heard, then you're gonna have to do that. But you gotta do it in a loving way. You don't want to come at them angry Cause then it's like you said, man, tonality, bro. Like that's I think that's really the missing ingredient that people miss. Is like that
Tone is
tonality
big.
is everything.
Tone is super big.
Yeah, man. Bro. But honestly, bro, this is like one of the best conversations I had in a while. Outside of the podcast, even in the podcast world, man. I really appreciate you taking the time and having this conversation with me, bro. And like even just the family tuning in because I could see them on the live, like they're all commenting, and it's all love, man. Like definitely, we gotta do this again soon. Thank you for being my first video guest, man. I think this one's gonna be a banger.
For
Do you have,
sure.
do you have anything you want to share? Like people could find you. You got any plans coming up? Oh yeah, you got your wedding coming up, man. You guys got a date yet?
Yeah, we have a date November 19th, 2022. So not this year, next year.
Oh, exactly 1 year from now. The countdown's beginning.
Yeah, bro. So we still got a lot. I mean, we got a lot done, but we still got a lot to do. Like I still got to do like wedding invites and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um,
You guys
yeah,
be
man.
talking about your list.
What's
Who's
that?
coming and who's not? Who's on the naughty list?
Oh yeah. We gotta. Well, the thing is this, like the venue, we're doing it in New York because most of our family lives in New York. Like you guys live in Connecticut, so it wouldn't be like a huge, travel for you guys.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, if we did it in North Carolina, it's going to be hard to get everyone there. So we just thought it would be more convenient if we just celebrated in New York. But we went to a lot of venues, and the one that we loved, the only available time they had was November 19th of next year.
Mm.
Every other venue we went to, they were like booked for like the next year or two because COVID, everyone's wedding got delayed. So everyone that got delayed, they want to get married.
Yeah.
So we thought that we loved and we got lucky that they were able to have something for next year. So we decided to go with them. And the only thing is the venue isn't super huge. We wanted to do something non-traditional, I guess. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to do something that was different, and we wanted to do something that wasn't your typical Mama Lombardi's, those
Yeah.
big, so we wanted to do something a little different. The scenery is different, but the only downside again is the venue isn't that big, so it's very limited. She has a big family, I have a big family, you know what I'm saying? So we're trying to limited seats is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's the only tough part about it, is because obviously you want everyone there, but
Yeah.
you could restrict it to so many.
Nah, that's true, bro. I understand, man. It's like you gotta definitely just do what's right and what's economical for you guys. And the people that, don't make the cut, they shouldn't take it offensive, man. You gotta be all right with
Yeah,
it.
I feel like I gotta do like another party. You know what I'm saying? Just to,
Yeah. You do the regular wedding and then like an after party. That would be cool. You have like an after party somewhere.
yeah, it's kind of hard, man. Because you got people and then you got plus ones.
Hmm.
So
And then their kids. You,
nah,
oh,
nah,
okay.
kids, no kids, just like
Yeah.
like
That's
couples.
that's good. That's a good way to do it. You don't want all these kids coming up hogging up the plates, man.
Yeah, nah, kids ain't going down.
All right, man. So yeah, let's wrap this thing up. Where can people find you? You on Instagram, right? September's very own. You got any other Instagrams you want to promote, or that's it, right?
That's all
All right,
I
cool.
got, bro.
Yeah. Catch
Don't
them on
learn.
September's very own or Instagram.
Underscore,
So
underscore.
yeah. And underscore, and you're on Facebook at David Alonso. And yeah, man, support us, yo. Three Kings and Why. We got Solitude shirts on the website. You can see him wearing it. Survive Suffering hoodies are going to be up soon. I got the t-shirts. I got the Three Kings hats. These are the trucker hats. I got these up. They're actually on the website, but for some reason on the homepage, they're not up there. I got to figure out a way to get them on the homepage because I don't want people to have to surf around to look for it. People are just lazy and then they give up. And it's like, damn, I just lost the sale. So I got to get it on the homepage, man. And yeah, check us out, yo. Thanks for the support. We're gonna do this again soon. More video podcasts. And it's going up, man. 2022 is gonna be a big year for all of us, yo. Peace and blessings to everybody, man.
Sure.
Catch y'all with y'all.